Picture this: our favorite British car enthusiast, known for his witty commentary and unconventional approach to car reviews, finally gets his hands on one of the most talked about vehicles in recent years. It's a sunny day in California, and James is about to take us on a journey that's as unique as the truck itself. James begins with a classic made joke, saying he might as well take a drive since it's against the law to walk anywhere in California. And what a journey it will be. James will explain to us why the Tesla Cybertruck is more than simply a car. It's a statement on wheels. Let's now discuss the truck's appearance. James does not hold back. Straight away, he poses the question: is this the contemporary equivalent of those astounding concept automobiles he used to see as a child? You know, the ones that caused heads to turn and eyes to pause? He brings up vehicles that were so avant-garde that they appeared to be from the future, such as the DeLorean and the Aston Martin Bulldog. Then, though, in true James May manner, he curveballs us. He speculates that the Cybertruck might be more akin to the Fiat Multipla, a purposefully unique vehicle that managed to become strangely endearing. James's reviews are highly interesting since they reflect his style of thinking. He's not content to merely glance at the design. Instead, he's delving deeper to attempt and grasp its underlying concept. In relation to design, James highlights an intriguing aspect of the Cybertruck's form. It appears to be all smooth surfaces and straight lines at first glance. However, James, being James, isn't content to merely gaze. To see how truly flat those surfaces are, he pulls out a steel ruler. Yes, you read it right, a ruler. Turns out they're not exactly flat after all. They have a slight curvature to them that James says is actually pretty clever. Should they be fully flat? The vehicle may appear somewhat compressed or deflated. James enjoys finding the little nuances, the ones that most people would never even consider looking for. James points out many peculiarities of the truck as he circles it. James makes the remark that you wouldn't want to be struck by the sharp edges. In addition, he says that because of all the reflections, it's a festival of fingerprints and a nightmare for YouTubers to record. But despite these oddities, or maybe because of them, James confesses he truly likes it. James didn't pay much attention to the exact figures, but it's important to note that this device is quick, incredibly quick. For the top spec variant, 0 to 60 miles per hour can be reached in less than 3 seconds. Folks, that's supercar territory. The body of the Cybertruck is composed of extremely durable 30 times cold rolled stainless steel. Although James refrained from attempting Elon Musk's renowned sledgehammer test, he was impressed by the truck's sturdy design. Its resistance to dents and corrosion could be a game-changer for truck owners who really use their vehicles for truck-related activities. James only mentioned a few points, but it's important to look into how the Cybertruck might affect the truck industry in more detail. For many years, traditional truck manufacturers have dominated this market, but Tesla's arrival may change that. Electric power combined with innovative design and state-of-the-art technology could be the catalyst the sector needs. Naturally, a conversation about an electric car wouldn't be complete without bringing up range. The top model of the Cybertruck can travel up to 500 kilometers on a single battery. Although James was unable to verify this allegation, he did observe that if it were true, a great deal of the range anxiety that now befalls electric cars would be eliminated. Let's now discuss that contentious interior. James took his time investigating the sleek cabin, which is centered on a large 17-inch touchscreen. Although it appears futuristic, he pointed out that people used to regular truck interiors would find it difficult to adjust. Specifically, our favorite British host raised an eyebrow or two over the yoke-style steering wheel. One element that James found particularly smart was the built-in ramp in the tailgate. This facilitates the process of loading equipment, such as bikes and ATVs, into the bed. Though he soon clarified that he doesn't actually transport gin that way, James quipped that it would be ideal for sliding barrels of gin into the truck. Let's now discuss what's inside this truck that gives off a futuristic vibe. James draws attention to the steer-by-wire technology, which is one of Cybertruck's most innovative features. To put it plainly, the steering wheel, which James refers to as a yoke, and the front wheels are not physically attached. Everything is managed by computers. James acknowledges that if you think about it too much, it can be a little confusing. But it does make some really unique features possible, like an incredibly tight turning radius for such a large car. A study of James May would be incomplete, of course, if it did not highlight a few quirks. He speaks about an elderly man who expressed dissatisfaction with the front's lone light bar, claiming it made difficult to gauge distance. His camera operator, Lucy, chimes in about the glare from all those flat surfaces. And James himself isn't too keen on the thick pillars that obstruct the view at junctions. But he does seem impressed by the massive windshield wiper, which he describes as a wiper on a wiper. Now, here's where James gets really creative. When it comes to measuring the truck bed's capacity, he doesn't use boring old cubic feet or liters. No, James measures it in bottles of gin. Specifically, his own brand of gin. According to his calculations, you could fit about 840 bottles of James gin in there. Now that's what I call useful information. In a moment of pure James May randomness, he tries to find a good spot to place a bottle of his gin on the Cybertruck. It's these kinds of unexpected tangents that makes his reviews so entertaining. For those curious, the roof and the tonneau cover are your best bets for gin bottle placement, just in case you ever need to know, right? Now let's talk about practicality. Despite its futuristic looks, the Cybertruck is still, at its heart, a truck. It's designed to work. The bed is 6.5 feet long and can carry a payload of up to 3,500 pounds. James noted that while it might not be the first choice for traditional truck buyers, it could appeal to those who want the utility of a truck combined with the eco-credentials of an electric vehicle. So what's the final verdict? James calls the Cybertruck ballsy and quite humorous. He's glad it exists, even if he doesn't necessarily want one for himself. In fact, he makes a little appeal to Elon Musk, asking for a smaller version of the Cybertruck, about the size of a Model Y. Now that's something many of us would be curious to see. One thing James didn't get into, but is worth mentioning, is the Cybertruck's potential as a power source. With its massive battery, it can serve as a mobile power station, providing electricity for tools, camping equipment, or even your home during a power outage. James might have missed a trick here. Imagine the gin and tonics you could mix up at a tailgate party. Another thing James didn't get to test, but is worth mentioning, is the Cybertruck's towing capacity. Tesla claims it can tow up to 14,000 pounds, which is pretty impressive. James quipped that it could probably tow his entire gin distillery, although he wouldn't recommend it. Love it or hate it, the Tesla Cybertruck is certainly making waves. It's challenging our ideas about what a truck can be, both in terms of design and technology. James May's review, with its blend of technical insight and quirky humor, gives us a unique perspective on this controversial vehicle. He doesn't just tell us about the Cybertruck, he helps us experience it, quirks and all. And isn't that what great automotive journalism is all about? Now, we'd love to hear what you think. Would you drive a Cybertruck, or do you prefer your trucks a bit more traditional? Drop us a comment below and let us know your thoughts. And hey, if you enjoyed this quirky take on the Cybertruck, why not hit that like button and subscribe? We've got plenty more interesting car content coming your way. And if you want to see more Tesla, check out our video on 10 Tesla maintenance hacks you've probably never heard of. The link is in the description. Remember, when you're into electric trucks or good old-fashioned petrol power, there's always something new and exciting happening in the world of cars. Stay curious, stay entertained, and we'll see you in the next video.